Society has been in a state of amnesia for longer than we can imagine. We have forgotten our true essence. We have forgotten how to operate from the heart. But most importantly, we have forgotten our ability to choose our own reality. Now, what do I mean by our ability to choose our own reality? I'm speaking about our very God-given right to cultivate our thoughts, energy, and intention to live the life that we want to live. And one of the key ways to do this is through really mastering our subconscious mind. Because as I've mentioned in my other videos, the product of our thoughts, and when our awareness shines on our thoughts, this is usually the byproduct of the subconscious mind as opposed to the conscious mind. And the forces of the world, the external forces which have malevolent intention, have essentially spearheaded a campaign to capture your subconscious through music, through videos, through infra frequencies, and through several other ways which you cannot imagine. However, the purpose of this video is not to cover that, and I've already covered this in my prior publications. The purpose of today's video is to teach you how to recapture your subconscious mind, and more importantly, endowing you with the ability to recapture your ability to craft your own reality. And one of the easiest ways to do this is through binaural beats. As I've mentioned before, the key way to access the subconscious is to elicit theta waves. Now, essentially what you're going to do is fairly simple. You're going to essentially listen to binaural beats, and I've included a link in the description below. And one thing to be conscious here of is that not all binaural beats are made equal, and there is a chance that some of these can contain hidden messages. But the link I've linked in below, I've tested myself and I can confirm that it's actually of a high quality source. However, use your own intuition when you're dabbling in this realm. So essentially, you're going to listen to theta binaural beats. This is going to elicit theta waves throughout your brain and your subconscious, thereby making your subconscious permeable to new programs and new beliefs. And you essentially are going to overlay this with affirmations, which will serve as the programs you wish to insert into your subconscious, which will drive your thoughts, which will drive your reality, and most importantly, manifest the life you want. Now, in terms of practically how to do this, it's not hard at all. You can do this on your phone in a very simple way. Step 1, you're going to download the InShot app. Step 2 is essentially just downloading any video, which will serve as the dummy overlay, upon which you're going to upload an audio overlay. And basically what you're going to do from this point on is just record yourself saying the programs you wish to embody. And as mentioned before in my prior videos, when you're doing these affirmations and program curation, it's so important to state them in the present and to use the words I am, as this links to the seat of your soul. It links to the present, and your power lies in the present. Never forget that. So as mentioned before, it's best for these programs to be intrinsic as opposed to be extrinsic. So some examples that you could use is I am peaceful, I am joyful, I am love. And you yourself need to identify your limiting beliefs to really make this effective. And the best way to do this is to basically look at your fears, look at your dreams, look at the areas of your life which make you feel the most insecure, look at the areas of your life which generate the strongest negative charge, look at your dream life and ask yourself what would stop you from getting there. Once you've done this, you basically have set the backdrop to create the perfect programs to counteract the thoughts which are limiting your life at this point in time. So just to recap, we downloaded InShot, we uploaded a video of a random length, turned off the volume, we essentially recorded our voice with our affirmations. You're going to overlay the theta binaural beats, adjust the volume accordingly, and you're good to go. And now the last step, which you can do, is essentially overlay some relaxing music over this just to make it more palatable to listen to. Although one thing I will add here is do not use any mainstream music, because as mentioned before, most mainstream music has infra frequencies to begin with, which will counteract the very effect of the beats you're listening to. And a little tip here also is to just lower the volume of the binaural beats slightly, just to make them a bit more enjoyable to listen to over long periods. Once you've essentially done this, you're going to export the file, and then you're going to essentially convert the video file into MP3. And from here, you can essentially listen to this as a music file throughout the day. And truth be told, any amount of time you put into this is going to be accretive. My own recommendation is aim for 20 minutes a day, but any amount of time invested in a consistent basis is going to get you that result. And one thing I want to raise here is you need to do this for 30 days. Do not miss a day. Repetition and discipline are so imperative here. I can't state this enough. If you do not keep to a strict regimen with this, you can't really expect results, because your current mindset is the product of repeated thoughts. So now you need to offer a counter substitute program of equal magnitude to replace the current programs which are running. Another way you can do this more effectively and rapidly is through the use of Audacity. And there's several tutorials online as to how you can essentially overlay audio to create the same effect that I've shown you in a more quick way. However, this will result in the use of a computer to do this. A few key tips I just want to add on here is number one, the affirmations and programs which you're using for your audio recordings should all be in a positive sense. So normally speaking, the subconscious doesn't respond as well to negative statements. So you would not say, I will not be sad. A better affirmation would be, I am happy. So that's point number one. Point number two here is that you should preferably say each affirmation twice. Studies have shown that when you do this, your subconscious responds more readily. So that's another key factor here. Step number three, the more conscious and directed you state these affirmations in other words, not too quick, with clarity, your subconscious recognizes this a bit more as well. The last point here, which you can do, is you can essentially listen to these tapes at a very low volume if you do not wish for them to be as intrusive in your listening space. So what you can do is download an app called MX Player, activate audio focus, bring the volume right down to 1%, and basically listen to any music you want over that. And in my own opinion, sometimes this can even be more effective than listening to it directly. I usually use a combination of both. I will listen to the audio at loud volumes, and then I'll also use this method with the lower volumes. And as I've said before, the subconscious will literally hear everything, even if your active ears do not hear it fully. So if you can really hear these beats and affirmations very faintly, your subconscious is still going to actually recognize and remember this. In terms of timing of listening to the binaural beats, as mentioned in my other videos, theta waves are most prevalent right before bed and first thing in the morning. So I personally would suggest listening to the tapes at these two times during the day, although given you overlaying it with theta waves, irrespective of the time of the day you listen to it to, you're still going to get a fantastic result. But in my own opinion, do it right before bed, first thing in the morning. And if you actually have earbuds you can sleep with, you can even listen to these tapes at very low volume while you sleep, and they actually will keep installing in your subconscious overnight, which is a really effortless way to do this. One last method you can use here is essentially listening to binaural beats whilst meditating and just saying the affirmations over this. Given that meditation already activates theta waves, if you overlay that with binaural beats, it makes this even more powerful, thereby eliciting more of a robust response to your subconscious permeability, and you would essentially just meditate, listen to the binaural beats, say your affirmations whilst meditating in a deep meditative state, and this will also achieve quite a powerful effect. But as said before, you need repetition here, at least 30 days. So in essence, to reprogram your subconscious mind, there are quite a few steps here. Step 1, you're going to essentially record yourself saying affirmations. You're going to overlay theta waves over this to open up your subconscious and make it permeable. Step number 3, you're going to listen to this in a structured, repeated way for at least 30 days. And the rest is really history. And after you've done this, make no mistake, your subconscious will start playing these programs automatically, and your life will become effortless as the way God intended it to be.